It has taken just a little bit more than a year for the heavyweight champion of the world to return to this small city on the southern crest of New Jersey. We are live at Convention Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey, as HBO Sports presents World Championship Boxing. Tonight, undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson defends that title against the #1 ranked contender of the International Boxing Federation, Carl "The Truth" Williams. Fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. It was June 27, 1988, when Mike Tyson settled once and for all the question of who was the real heavyweight champion. In this arena, Tyson made short order of Michael Spinks in 91 seconds of calculated aggression. His personal life, in disarray then, is no less tumultuous now. His every move outside the ring is a topic of conversation on television talk shows, in magazines, in neighborhood bookstores, none of which has seemed to affect his ability here in the ring. Tonight, another test for the 23-year-old heavyweight fighting machine. And hello again, I'm Jim Lampley. We welcome you back to HBO's continuing chronicle of Mike Tyson's path through heavyweight boxing history. Many of his fights, including this one, now regarded by the public as competitive formalities. For more on that, our returning HBO boxing expert, back from his brief vacation and his dust-up with Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. And Sugar Ray, Mike is to a certain degree a victim of his own success. He knocks out Frank Bruno in 5 rounds and is criticized by most in boxing for what was seen as a lackluster performance. Is there validity to the idea of criticizing Mike for what he did against Bruno?
Well, I'll tell you one thing about it, Jim. It's just reality because of Mike Tyson's dominance of the heavyweight division. Whenever he steps into the ring, especially when he annihilated Michael Spinks in 1 round, if it goes past 2 or 3 rounds, people say it's a lackluster performance. And with Bruno was a big heavyweight and gave him problems because of the height advantage. But I think that Mike Tyson, for the most part, fought a very impressive fight.
So what's at stake now for Mike as he goes against another opponent who is regarded by most of having no chance whatsoever of staying with him?
Well, a lot of times, because it's a no-win situation, that has a tendency to affect one's fighter's performance. But I think Mike Tyson, with his intensity and tenacity, will do pretty well. But then again, we're fighting a taller guy. Mike Tyson is, in Carl Williams.
Indeed, 6 feet 5 inches tall, 6 feet 4, a man with a 14-inch reach advantage and a highly competent jab. Nevertheless, an overwhelming underdog in the fight. For more on that, our HBO boxing analyst, Larry Merchant. Larry, the obvious question when a man is a 12, 15, 17-to-1 betting underdog, does Carl Williams have any realistic chance against Mike Tyson?
Well, as the saying goes, slim and none, and in this case, I'm not even sure Slim came to town. Let's face it, the reason we watch Mike Tyson fights is not for sterling competition. It's for the sheer drama of Mike Tyson, his talent and his power, and perhaps out of some morbid curiosity or hope for the other guy. How will he handle himself in the storm? Will he be brave? Carl Williams says that he's going into the lion's den to take the meat out of the lion's mouth. He says he's going to cut open Tyson like a can of peaches. That takes care of the entree and of the dessert, but unfortunately for him, few opponents of Tyson ever get past the appetizer.
Indeed, 36 times Tyson has fought, 32 times he's won by knockout, 21 of those within the first 2 rounds of the fight. He is, as always tonight, an overwhelming favorite to win. But the more Mike stays the same, the more the world around him changes. Now he enters the ring for the 2nd time with the 3rd distinct incarnation of his entourage, now called Team Tyson. It's now a well-known story. 10 years ago in Catskill, New York, a trainer and his 13-year-old fighter envisioned a future which would change boxing history.
I don't know if it's born to be a champion, but I have that in mind, but I'm at least born to be a fighter.
Several years later, the aging trainer selected a former pupil as his disciple. Along with a pair of co-managers, they formed a unit, the first Team Tyson. Following their successful formula, Mike Tyson obtained 3 heavyweight crowns, but he would eventually lose his 2 dearest friends. Trainer Cus D'Amato passed away in 1985. Manager Jim Jacobs died in 1988. In the following months, the team would grow, and when Tyson fought Michael Spinks, it was larger than ever before. Now in the picture were a wife, a mother-in-law, promoter, and advisor. The biggest changes were still to follow. Bring out the old, bring in the new might as well have been the theme for the Tyson-Bruno fight. As of last February, Robin Givens, Ruth Roper, Donald Trump, assistant manager Steve Lott, and trainer Kevin Rooney had all departed. Besides Tyson, estranged manager Bill Caton was the only original member to remain. Added now were Rory Holloway, John Horn, Aaron Snowell, Jay Bright, and Carl King. They named themselves Team Tyson and are based at Don King's training camp in Orwell, Ohio.
Team Tyson is a team which, I organize, out of my connections with the people. I put aside my life and I found out, A and B who's been the most trustworthy, and I decided I'm going to develop my own organization.
Few would now question that the fighter, Mike Tyson, is the boss of this organization and that its members are there to please him.
Michael's like my brother, and I would do anything for Michael.
And whenever he calls on me, I'm there.
The most important thing is for Mike to be happy. It doesn't matter how much we suffer.
But they like their job, and each ecstatically describes the benefits of this organization.
Team Tyson provides Mike with the necessary things of having a family and having friends that you can trust, relate to, and identify with.
Everybody works together here as a big family.
The key word here is family. But while Team Tyson undoubtedly enjoys its unity, there are the critics who have their doubts.
Well, I've read things about, they have an amateur team and they don't know what they're doing and this and that.
Two of Mike's oldest friends are assistant manager Rory Holloway and camp coordinator John Horn. Like most new employees, both will admit that they have much to learn.
I'm learning as I go along, but Mike knows I have a good head on my shoulder.
Don King is our teacher. You know what I mean? I don't know everything there is to know about boxing, but what I don't know, I'm learning from Don King, who's the best.
Some contend that it is indeed Don King who is running this organization, and that he has too much influence over the champion.
What they try to do is to divide us and make us feel like one is against the other, one is trying to claim something from the other. What I do is tell him what, in my judgment, whether I think something is right for him or whether it's wrong for him.